bet anywhere with TVG.
On Saturday at the spot, Saratoga will be the 146th edition of now the $1.6 million Travers Stakes. And joining us on the line, a man who has the distinction of, well, I guess you could say co-winning that race back in 2012 for Godolphin Racing with Alpha, a good friend of the show, trainer Kiaran McLaughlin. I know you've been waiting, Kiaran, and we really appreciate you taking the time.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Well, this, of course, is shaping up to be, again, one of those great contests we see at the Spa year in and year out. Frosted, the distinction that you have not been that second half of the year. You have battled with this horse the entire season. In fact, you faced off against American Pharoah not once but twice and have what looks to be a very impressive work going into the race. I just got to ask, how is he doing?
Frosted couldn't be doing better. He's training super. He came out of the gym dandy great, and we're happy with our horse. We just don't know if he's good enough to beat American Pharoah, but he couldn't be doing better.
Well, along those lines, Kiaran, Bob Baffert was quoted, in fact, in the Daily Racing Form for tomorrow, as saying, when approaching the Travers, it is beneficial to be able to get a race over the track. Obviously, Pharoah just showed up today. Do you feel that's an edge? Does it help? Does it not matter that you have that race in the Dandy already in your belt?
Well, I think it helps normally, but with American Pharoah out there, I don't know if it's going to be enough to overcome him. He's just a top horse, and having a race over the track might not matter to him because he's only lost once, and he lost last August at Del Mar, so maybe August isn't his best month, we have to hope.
Kiaran, as far as Frosted is concerned, and I mentioned this just earlier when we started to speak, with the three-year-old picture, more times than not, you will see connections go for the first half of the year, and then if they're not successful, it's a very taxing journey, that Triple Crown. Sometimes they will just back off. You've been there right from the start with this horse. What is it about him that keeps this horse going at such a high level?
He's a very sound horse, healthy horse, looks great, always carries a little extra weight, actually, so we don't have to worry about him drawing up or losing weight. And we did run the Kentucky Derby and then gave him the 5 weeks to the Belmont, and then we waited to the Jim Dandy. And so it's been a really good schedule, and he's just doing great with no issues.
We're taking a look back at that Jim Dandy, and again, this was a huge effort and a tough beat by Texas Red. Was there anything about the race, from what I could see, it looks like he gave you everything and more. Was there anything about that race, even earlier in the pace scenario, that if you had a chance to do it again differently, you would have?
Well, he stepped on his shoe leaving the gate and pulled his right front shoe off. So that wasn't ideal. And we gave 4 pounds to Texas Red over a mile and 1/8. 4 pounds certainly would make a half a length difference. So Texas Red is a Grade 1 winner, won the Breeders' Cup last year, a top horse, and I thought both of us ran great, and hopefully we have 4 shoes on this Saturday, and with equal weights for Texas Red should help us, but American Pharoah's in there, so things will be a little different because he's tough always. We're 0 for 2 against him, but we're ready to go, and he's trained great since the Jim Dandy, so we feel like it was an excellent prep.
All right. Well, Kiaran, I really appreciate you taking the time. I know you're a busy man, and we appreciate the fact you hung on for us as long as you did. All I can say is good luck, safe trip, and I hope when it's all said and done that canoe has the Godolphin blue on it.
That sounds great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay. Kiaran McLaughlin joining us by way of the phone up at Saratoga, and you know what, that is always a class individual, and you could hear it in his voice. It was not that polished for the television. It was legitimate. He feels, you know what, it's going to be a tough task to beat American Pharoah, but I'll tell you something, they don't call it the graveyard of favorites for nothing. So good luck to Frosted, and of course Kiaran, Joel Rosario, and the owners and breeders at Godolphin Darley.